It's this, it's that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't even know
What I want, or if I need
What do
it,
I
I
want?
want that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then after all of that, I was like, you know what? I know I don't want that. And I know that I get all of the pros of what I do want in this relationship.
Wow.
So it ends up working out really well.
So what you say this relationship?
So we all know who she's with.
She is. We're talking about Nick Cannon.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. We're talking to you guys about Tieresi. We're going deeper into it. I found another video where she did with B Simone, and I think her name is another lady. I can't remember her name. Is it Brie? I apologize if I got her name wrong. But I want to go deeper with it because I wanted to hear her thoughts, unadulterated, and kind of get where she's coming from. Because I think we always want to try and understand people's perspective when we see them on the screen, and not try to make absolute mad judgments. Now, in my first video I did about this, I was just kind of reviewing her interview with Kevin, and the fact that people forget that a child has feelings, a child wants to be loved, a child wants to be cared for. It's not about you. It's egocentric and very selfish for us to only think about ourselves and about how we feel. That child wants to come into a place of love, care, and appreciation, and come into stability as well. But that's my personal thoughts. I wanted to hear what she has to say on these topics. And so B Simone does a great job again of having a conversation with her. I haven't watched it all the way through, so a lot of it will be a blind reaction to it. But we'll try to have a conversation around the topic between herself and Nick Cannon. So if you are new to this channel, do me a massive favor, like it, share, subscribe, click on the bell button notification of the uploads. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated because the streets out there, they are hot. Let's get into the video and let's see what it's saying.
Okay. Nick, like Nickelodeon. Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
I love Nick. Nick is such a great human. I literally called him when I was canceled. I was like, they trying to kill me, man. He's like, you gonna be fine, B Simone. You know, he's just always like that mentor, that big brother you can go to. So respectful, so just a great human across the board.
So first and foremost, we've got to be very honest and frank. B Simone's going to have maybe more of a biased view around Nick because obviously Nick supported her during her cancel stage. We saw that when she was on his channel, and talking about her situation and what she wanted 9 to 5. So any constructive I don't agree with this might not happen. We're not really looking for that anyway on this. We're looking for what the answers are so we can actually break it down in terms of what her thoughts are. I'm going to really pay attention to what she's saying because just before this, I played it in the beginning. She said she didn't really know what she wanted, but she realized she got the perks from this relationship, which cool. But then children are into it. Like, listen, perk absolutely away if you're dealing with yourself, another partner, or dealing with someone else or another human being, because you're grown. But then to add a child into it, I just be like, okay, let's just play the clip.
And we even got him on the podcast. We talked about relationships.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, well, I don't believe in that, and I don't believe. So what is? I'm not even gonna say, because on Facebook when it's like in a relationship, single, complicated. Like, what is? Yeah, like how does it work with Nick Cannon?
Yeah.
And
Well, where did it start? Because you said 10 years on and off.
Yeah.
So how did y'all's relationship start?
I actually met him years ago through mutual friends, and I went to watch Wild 'N Out.
Hold on. So they are 10 years on and off. So there's been an extensive relationship between the two. Friends, probably been chilling with each other, enjoyed each other's company, build a very good rapport emotionally over time. In that 10 years, as friends, sometimes, you say to your female friend or female friend says to you, like, by 35, if you're not, we're going to get married kind of thing. Yeah, but it's a joke. It's not meant to be real. Like, do you know what I mean? But anyway, let me not. Okay.
And then we met that night, went to dinner, and then ended up talking ever since then. I came on like probably a year later, ended up doing Well and Out. And it was more like Danielle and everyone being like, you should do it. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah. I don't care. And that's when we were in LA.
Yeah.
And it was cool, but I was just like, all right, whatever. This is like a here and there thing. And like him and I would be on and off just because obviously he is who he is and you see how he moves and you know what it is.
Yeah.
So the whole entire time they've had an on and off relationship. What you basically mean is y'all been sexting. Okay, you've been sexting on and off for the last 10 years. Darling, you've been in a situationship the whole entire time. Can I be frank with you? I'm not going to pull no punches around here. For anybody who is watching this, I don't want people to get caught up in something like this. 10 years on and off is a situationship for 10 years, a decade wide. And obviously in between that time, she got married and everything like that. You've been in a situationship for 10 years. Yeah. Now, someone might say, maybe she didn't want a relationship. All right, cool. If that's what you didn't want, then if that's what you honestly didn't want, you honestly didn't want a relationship, then it's not a situationship. If she can generally be honest with herself, sit down with herself, and look herself in the mirror and tell herself she didn't want a relationship with Nick and she didn't want to have fun. But if you heard what she said, she what do you call it? She previewed it by saying, obviously we're on and off because of who Nick Cannon is. So because of who Nick Cannon is, not because you wanted it, but because of who Nick Cannon is. If you wanted it, you'd have been like, well, you know what? I wasn't really feeling it. I didn't really want a relationship anyway. 10 years on and off, I was just enjoying my time. But she said, because of who Nick Cannon is, I'll say less.
Just like, I don't know about you, whatever. Yeah. But like, as well as you know him, like he's just such a good, great fucking person that you're so attracted to him.
And he's honest.
Honest.
He doesn't hide anything from.
And that's very much how I am. And a lot of people do not like that. And they do not like the bluntness or what you have to say. He's a little bit more strategic and sweet with the way that he does shit. You're like,
hey, I'm gonna lie to you. This is straight. I'm not even expose myself, but honestly, when you roll in truth, I've been telling men this whole thing. You get so much further by telling women the truth, man. You want sex? Tell them you want sex. I'm telling you, bro. You don't need to lie. You want sex? Tell them you want sex. Now, maybe the one that you want, that baddie is saying no, she wants a relationship. Respect it. There are other girls out there that want to give you the freaky deaky leaky. Okay? You don't have to suffer. You know what I mean? And try and lie, manipulate, cheat. Like, bruh, there are girls out there that just want to have sex. You go for it. Like, you just heard what she said. He's super honest. Look where she is now. I mean, I don't agree with it, but look where she is now. Super honest. No need to lie. No need to pretend. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? All right, cool.
I just say, yeah. But he's just like such an interesting human. So it's like, above all, we were really close, like really good friends above anything. Like he'd sit here and tell me about whoever, whatever. And we've just always had that relationship, which I think is something that lacks in a lot of relationships. That people can't discuss like past things or whatever.
Or current things. What they're currently feeling.
And we would just get straight to it. So it was just, I don't know, it's just a very different relationship. And so I know a lot of people got all butthurt when I posted Twin Flame, when I posted our maternity stuff. It's, if you know the real definition of a twin flame, it's not your soulmate. It's the same person. Like we are literally the same human. So for our interactions and our communication and just everything, there is no room to argue or fight or disagree because we literally have the same beliefs and everything.
Wow. And what is that belief system? Do y'all believe? Is it it's not a monogamous relationship?
No.
And that's what I wanted to find out. Thank you very much, B. Simone. What is that belief? Are you telling me definitely you don't believe in monogamous situation? I know already she doesn't really agree with the whole marriage thing. My throat, sorry. So I want to know as well, what's the belief system? You guys believe exactly the same thing? I want to find out. Let's see what she says, man.
Correct. Is it polygamy? Is it open relationship? Is it we'll never get married?
Yeah, I guess it's kind of one of those things where it's like, it's not necessarily anything. It's like, this is just us. This is our relationship. And what you do outside of that is what you do outside of that. And what I do outside of that is what I do outside of that. Everything is respectful. Everything is honest. Yeah. So like, we don't really define it, but it's like, you know, you do your thing, I do mine, but like, it's the same kind of thing. And I've said this before, and I've seen it come up a lot, is where it's like, I'm only worried about my family. I'm worried about my home, and everything outside of that isn't my business, and it doesn't really bother me. And it
This sound, you can't spin a spin doctor. You can't spin a spin doctor. What she just said there is nonsense, bro. Okay, listen, you've got to define something. Like people, okay, so we're saying I don't have a definition for it. It's just open, but we're not in an open relationship. We're also not friends with benefits. We are, you know, not friends. You know, we're not doing polygamy. We're not doing polyamory or whatever it is. What are you doing? Give me a definition of what you guys are doing. You haven't got one. Now, this goes back to what I said about the player code, about the gray area, right? The gray area is an undefined meeting place. We know what we're doing. No. Listen, can I be honest with you? I know that I know that if I have a relationship with this particular girl, this one is sex before marriage. Sorry, not before. This one here is friends with benefits. Right? I know this one here is an emotional connection, which I love to have. I don't want sex with you, but I want an emotional connection with you. Right? I want everything else but a relationship with you. Then with this person, I want this. Like what I'm doing is compartmentalizing my relationships at a point in time, right? But really and truly, I'm able to define it what it is. She said, it is basically what she gave us was, it is what it is. It is what it is. So you've been going with the flow for the last decade? You've been going with the flow for the last decade? Darling, this is how you leave yourself open to attack. Okay, it's my thoughts anyway.
Genuinely doesn't bother me. There's a lot of women that can say, you know, whatever, but I'm happy with, you know, all of my needs are met at the end of the day. Okay. And if I want, so what my favorite thing about Nick is, if I want something, I ask for it. I never have to ask for it again. I never have to say the same thing twice. I never have to, whatever. I want more time. I want to do this. I want to do that. Sure. And he's just there. I don't know how he makes time to do any of this shit, but.
Wait a minute. Because you're not about to play me. If you're telling me if I want more time, I can ask for it and I get it. What happens when there's 6 other women? I want more time, I can get it. What happens when the other 4 or 5 baby mothers say, I want more time, Nick? Will they also get it? And if they don't get it, why don't they get it? And if they get it, how much time does he have in a day to give? I don't care how well-versed your assistant is at scheduling your appointments. There's only 24 hours in a day. Thank God. People are wild out here.
He's there and he comes through. And all of the things that you like worry about with other people, like I have none of that. Like
that's something I can respect though. The honesty. Like,
if more people live that life, be honest.
Be honest. If more people walked in their truth, you can actually date people that believe in the same thing you believe in. I believe in monogamy. If you don't believe in that, go fuck with Brie. You get what I'm saying? Like, don't date me. Go date another woman that believes in that, which is a beautiful thing if you are truly fulfilled and happy. Just date people that believe in the same thing as you and stop lying to your significant other.
It's like you're conning people into a relationship because at the end of the day, it's like, all right, you told me you were X, Y, and Z, but you ain't. So how we get here?
You guys, really quickly before we move on, we're going to take a little ad break. You know why? Because...
Hi, did you miss me? So
not I'll be here when you get back.
So I was like,
him.
That's
man.
Because some niggas like, man, fuck you. Yeah, no. He was like, okay, good luck. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting. It's different. You know, you see things and whatever you hear, everyone's got something to say in their opinions. And it's just unfortunately like we're in the limelight. You're on social media, like you're exposing yourself to everything. I just kind of lean into it versus run from it because this is my truth. This is what it is. Like, and you don't have to sleep with me.
And
you don't have to
really love Nick Cannon.
I love him.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's gonna end badly. So you love him. For now. So long as he does what you want him to do. This is going to end badly, man. You know when you know that it's going to end badly? Players who've played the game know that the game doesn't last forever. We can only play the game for so long.
You just talk about he's a great human. He's a great person. You're like, you really love him?
Wow, Nick.
What?
He is great. But...
You know, even knowing that what your relationship is and you know what your non-negotiables are, what you like and what you don't like. Have you ever felt like, damn, like this is hard to share this person?
Do you know how many kids he has?
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
how many does he have?
8.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many?
8, including yours.
Mothers. How many mothers is it?
4, 5.
5. Okay. Yeah. Are you
5.
The 6th or the 5th?
No, I'm 5.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, obviously, seeing stuff like that is hard when you love somebody and you know whatever. It's like, okay, so now because that's a whole different level of relationship. That's 100%. A lot longer than just like fucking around with somebody. You know, I mean, this is
forever in my life.
Is forever.
Yeah.
So then you're like, oh, okay, well, so are you the same with everybody? So then you do get into that space where you're like, well,
thank you. That's where we need to get to. Oh, young lady on the left, what's her name? I don't know anything. Name. First of all, you're buff. I love your toes on the floor. And 3, turn into Sean. I love the fact that you ask some good quality questions. You know, is it tough like that? And of course it is, because when people pretend as if this really works, it's nonsense. You are going to feel these feelings. You are literally suppressing how you actually feel and putting it down because you're getting some certain perks financially. So let's be real. This doesn't really work unless you're willing to sacrifice how you feel emotionally. And therefore, that's why I said the kid suffers, because for you to sacrifice that, how are you going to bring that back up for your child too? I know it's a different type of love. One's romantic, one's for your child, which is different, right? But I'm saying in the sense of when you're having to suppress and you're getting used to suppressing your feelings, do you think you can just bring it back up again for your kid? It doesn't work like that. And it's not that outward showing, it's the energy you carry in general. You know what I mean? So I'm
Hold on a
like,
second.
Do you love me more? Do you love me?
Yeah, but then it's a comparison thing. So then you go down to like, I'm not, first of all, I'm not even compared to any of those women. Like, that's not who I am at all.
Right.
So, and we've had conversations. I'd be like, what happened here? Like, or what's this or whatever. And we have that openness that you can say whatever you want to say. And it's not like, I'm not trying to be nasty, or it's not like, it's none of those like empty emotions.
Malicious.
Like, no, it's just like, so where are you at? Like, what is this?
Tell me
to
the
you?
truth.
Like, just communicate to me so I know what's going on.
Yeah.
And that's really all it is. It's just communicating. Because I feel like even in normal relationships, you ask a man like, "Why are you following your ex-girlfriend? Why are you looking at her shit? Why are you doing whatever?" It's always a lie. It's always some whatever,
some BS.
And with him, it's always the truth.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like you give me the truth, you give me the position to be like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah,
like
give the person the
and that's very true. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is a very, very true point, right? So long, and as I said this last one, I said one thing I realized when I came to a realization was when women used to say, you could, if you cheat on me, just tell me the truth. I used to say to myself, what difference does it make? It makes a big difference, because when someone is able to say the truth, you can trust their words from then on outwards, forever onwards. Because even in the most difficult moments, they'll tell you the truth. Liars are very deceitful and annoying because you can never trust the reality they ever create again. Now, what she's saying here in a sense of, you know, the other women, she doesn't necessarily compare herself, but she asks questions about what happened here, what happened there. Do you know why you ask? Do you know why you ask those questions? Because baby, you want to feel special, and it doesn't feel special. And it doesn't feel special when you got 5 or 6 other women saying the same thing you're saying. So that's why you ask the question. Oh, are you saying the same things over there? Are you doing the same things of them? If he starts doing all the same things with them, you're no longer special, right? Which is why I'm saying to you, you are not in this open relationship. You're really not, right? Because unless you're out here in the streets with other men, you're really not in an open relationship. You're not, like I said, it is what it is. But it's not is what it is, because you're feeling some type of way when he goes, and if he was to replicate what he does with you, with other women, you'd feel some type of way. So it's not really it is what it is situation, which is why I'm saying, let's be honest, it's not an is what it is situation. It is what it is because you've accepted what it is. But that ain't really what it is.
Opportunity.
Yeah,
opportunity. Authentically.
The true you.
Yeah.
The true you.
Yeah. Everything about it. You know what I mean? And then you're not scared to lie to me. You don't keep things from me. You don't
That's
whatever.
fair.
And those are all the parts of the relationships that I never liked.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why are you lying? For what?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do anything to you. Like, that was your shady behavior.
Right.
So it's just a different comfort and security, and knowing that you can like really talk to your partner regardless.
I feel like that lacks in a lot of relationships.
Yeah.
Which I like that you said that. It's like when you have to lie to somebody, then
Yeah,
it puts
that's
you in
mad.
a fucked up position in your relationship. But when you
I
can
read
just be
that.
honest with them.
Yep.
And I feel like, and responding to truth in a positive way. I feel like as females, we fuck up on that part.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, why would he tell you the truth if every time he does it, you wild the fuck out?
Yeah.
Instead of trying to.
And that's a really good point. You know, maybe we can do a separate video on that. But you know, when I tell you the truth and you spaz out, fam, it's madness, cuz. But I'll be honest with you, like as I'm learning as well, you know, choosing correct people with correct mindsets. Telling the truth isn't the hard part now, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you know that you've chosen the right person when they get the truth, they're not going to spaz out. Now, and you also have to be ready as well, as a person who tells the truth, you have to also be ready for the fact that they may be shocked. You know what I mean? They may be shocked. If you tell me honestly, do you know what, babe, I'm starting to feel somebody else and I don't want to feel this way. How do we correct this? I'm going to be shocked. I'm going to be hurt and I'm going to be damaged for a while. But I'm going to respect your honesty and the fact you came to me and told me this. Right. So again, I'm loving that part of the conversation. I think it's absolutely right. You gotta learn to be honest in your relationships and be truthful. And if the partner can't handle truths, it's gonna be a very long relationship. It's gonna be full of deception, and you don't really want that.
Instead of being like, let's have a conversation,
I get it.
or thank you for telling me the truth.
Yeah.
It may not feel good. I may not be okay in this moment, but at least you told me the truth.
And you don't have to agree with that.
And you don't have to agree.
You don't have to agree. I don't have to like that you got 8 kids. I don't have to like nothing.
Right.
Nothing about any of this. But at the end of the day, it's like I make the conscious decision to be here with all of the information that I have because you gave me that opportunity, not because you lied to me or conned me or told me what I wanted to hear or whatever. It's not like some cult like everybody likes to think that it is.
Think you're in a cult?
I swear, girl, the shit I hear, I'm like, huh? Cult?
I'm like, breathe.
No, it's not cult.
Yeah, like, it's a whole thing, girl. You hear the craziest stuff, and I'm like, he's the best dad. He tries so hard. Like I have so many friends that are just like fighting over their kids in court. The dads are never present. They don't help with anything. They're in these like damaged situations, and I'm just thankful that it's just not.
So how do you feel?
Baby, I understand what you're saying, but those are bare minimums. Okay, those people are bottom barrel stuff. Yeah, those are bottom barrel stuff. Him just being there is basic. Okay, all right. Him just turning up for a birthday party, whatever, just seems to be so basic. And like I said, to do that for 9 kids. 8 kids, sorry. That's difficult. He's got his work cut out for him. 8 kids in different households. He's got his work cut out for him. I don't think she's telling us the full truth. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just don't, or either that or she's stuck in a fairy tale, because I just can't see how being one of 8, again, depends on your personal agenda as well, though. She might have her own agenda. Maybe she wanted a kid, and it was best to have a kid with somebody who's wealthy and well off, and therefore it works in her favor. Maybe that's also another consideration. Let me not be too hard on her.
Feel about that with him having 8 children, and you bringing a beautiful baby boy into this world, and are you worried about equal time? Are you worried about him being present in the home enough?
Good question.
Are you worried about,
or is it all
Good
relative?
question.
Because time is relative. I mean, obviously he has 8 children, so there's no possible way he can be 100% present.
And do you think that's okay? Or, do you worry about that? Because to me, I would be like, okay, if I'm having a baby, I want the father to be present. So every day, I want you to be seeing him walk, seeing him talk, seeing him.
Thank you. And there's no way you're going to be able to be there for every those key moments. The first word, hearing him talk, and you're not going to listen. And let me tell you something. It's so wild. So as the oldest brother, right? I saw my 2 younger sisters. I saw them walk, and I heard their first words. It was mad. Look, when you have, it was a beautiful moment. I remember my sister, the first one, her first word was mum, but the youngest one, I think her one was dada. It was dada, right? And when you hear them, the first time you hear them talk, they're going for it, dada, dada. You hear them going, dada, and you're like, say something else, bro. Dada, dada. And I think she even said, ko. And I was like, just say the Joe, girl. You know what I mean? I saw them crawl, and I saw them walk. I'm telling you, you can't get back those moments. I was there when they were doing the walk. I was there looking after them. And it's so mad. It's only until I've just done this video that I realized how many moments I've been there. I've potty trained. I've distilled bottles of food. I've, put them to sleep, cleaned up sick, did all the things that a parent would do. It's probably why I'm actually probably wilding out right now, because like it's being a parent so young, it's not easy. But I've seen all those key moments, right? And it's a beautiful thing when you see your sibling, or even if let's say it's your child, and you see them crawling, and when they first start crawling backwards, y'all don't even know about that one. Then they crawl backwards, or when you turn around and they've crawled somewhere and you don't know where the frick they are, like they've just crawled somewhere. You know what I mean? Or when they're literally trying to climb a chair, and you can see them trying to figure out how to climb this chair. Or when they're about to get down a chair and they're about to fall forward, and you got to catch them. Those key moments, right? Or when they fall over, when they do their first walk, and then you see their first run as they're walking. Y'all don't know those moments, and you're not going to be there for all 8 of them. Now, granted, there are fathers who too won't be there for their actual children because they're working 9 to 5s. I absolutely agree, but as I said, if you have more money, you're supposed to have more time, not to do things that are going to constrain your time even more. Do you know what I mean? Like to say it.
All the time.
Okay, so that's your intention. Now you get married and you get a divorce.
Right.
Then where are you at?
Right.
So it's like those are always everyone's intentions, which are great, but it doesn't 99% of the time like work out like that.
Okay.
Like, yes, you may be home to put them to sleep, but you left before they woke up. They had their full day. The wife takes care of them. They go to sleep. You barely tuck them in. Like it's different for every house.
No, baby. Don't include us all in that. Don't include us all in that nonsense. Don't include us all in that nonsense. You know what I'm saying? My dad was here. Like I didn't need him to be a more emotional present, but he was here. And I know a lot of people whose fathers were there at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at home. You know why? Because after a hard day's work, all they want to do is come home. So, baby, don't do the 99% stuff. Let's not do that to try and make yourself feel justified in your actions you're choosing. Let's not do that, baby. Okay? Let's not do that. Maybe that's for Hollywood, but that's not how I see things in my area. Maybe that's someone else's experience, but for me, no.
You're talking about even men in marriages.
I'm talking about
whoever.
Normal,
situations. Normal, yeah.
Nick makes his whole own schedule, like without putting all his stuff out there. It's one kid has this in the morning, the other one has this. Like he's doing that, fitting meetings in between. Like if anyone puts in the effort to like get it done, I've watched him do it for so many years.
Right.
So to me personally, that's not really a thing that I worry about. But also growing up with a single mom and growing up with all women, I was like, I don't really need you. I don't need you. Like, that's cool if you want to be here.
There we go. Thank you very much for exposing what we needed to expose. As a grown-up and single mom, I don't really need you. That is the issue. And I'm not just saying this is for women, men too, but because she's the one that's in what we're dealing with right now, that is the issue. As a single mother, as a single mother, I've seen it happen. I don't really need you. And that is a mistake that we're seeing in this generation. It's a big time mistake. Both men and women, young boys and girls, need both mother and father. They need them. And then they need good quality parents too. I mean, it's probably better to have one parent that's better than to have two and then one of the parents is just toxic or narcissistic. That's fine. But in the general sense of the term, children are better off with two because they need both sets of energy. They need both sets of thoughts, experiences, and everything like that as well about the way the world works, because we show up as men and we show up as women. So that is an interesting point that she made there. That's why she's comfortable being a single mom. She's seen it happen before. Nothing wrong with me. I'm okay. So that means I can raise them out the same way.
And I love you to be present, and I love that for my son to have a male figure, but I don't need you.
But do you think the baby needs him?
I mean, of course, like all kids like need their father, and they need.
See that? Thank you, B. Simone. See what I'm talking about? The egocentricness. I don't need you. It's not about you. It's about your child. Why's your this is what I'm saying. There's too many parents out here just selfish, no? And I'm not just talking about her. There's a lot of us who have selfish parents. Why did your thought not go on to what my kid needs? Like, yo, your kid needs a parent figure, a male figure. So appropriately choose. I said this the same thing about the gentleman on another video on my Dark Arts channel. By the way, if you haven't followed my Dark Arts channel, guys, make sure you do that as well. Dark Arts channel as well, guys. We wanna see you guys there as well. But make sure you follow that channel. Now, why is it that we are comfortable creating broken homes because I want to be a father, but you don't want to be with a partner? So now you put yourself in this difficult position and put this child in a difficult position where now they themselves, are without you. Why? Why allow yourself to be in that situation? Why would you want to do that? You know what I mean?
That support, especially like as a man, like you want to be raised by a man. And I think especially at that time, he will step in, especially when needed.
Got you.
And I hear how he is on the phone, and I see a lot of the stuff that's going on, and like he's very present. He's very like every night, every day, talks to the kids. It's not like I'm going on tour for 3 weeks. I'll see you when I get back. It's not. It's not like that.
There's no way he's doing that for 8 kids. I'm just going to say, there's no way he's giving them ample amount of time. What, 2-minute calls? The guy is the most busiest person on the planet. So listen, he's got 24 hours in a day. I just want you to deep this. 24 hours in a day with 8 kids, 5 baby mothers, an extensive role of career and job. Where is he finding the time? Let's say even if he's sleeping 4 hours, 20 hours, he's still spending a lot of time traveling on road, all that time. Okay. But listen, I mean, the same could be said if someone had 8 kids in the same family, right? Same could be said.
Yeah. I think people take a lot of credit away from how much effort he actually puts into his relationship.
I can see that.
Do you feel like, or have you ever experienced him not being able to give you time because it's like, one of my kids need me, or I need to, has there ever been a situation where you felt, especially because now that I'll say this, when you announced you had your gender reveal,
it's interesting. Let's just go back. I want to see something body language wise. Sorry, I want to see body language.
A situation where you felt, especially because now that I'll say this, when you announced you had your gender reveal, it kind of came public that he was the father of your child.
So beautiful.
But it kind of
on the beach walking and shit. I'm like, she really love this nigga. You better bring me back next season.
But
I ain't on the tour. Sorry, I had to get that out.
Uh-oh.
You done?
I'm done. I love you, nigga. Just damn, let me have at least one show or some shit. All right. I'm done.
I'm like, you.
Beastmo is doing something very interesting. I know what she's doing. I see you, Beastman. I respect it. I ain't gonna lie to you. She's softening the blow. So when you want to soften the question, because the question is gonna be a stiff one, what Beast Mode is doing is creating a humorous environment to soften the question. So now when the question comes, even though the question is going to come the same way, the atmosphere is lightened, so the question doesn't come as harsh. Very smart tactic by Beast Mode. Can't lie to you. That could also just because she's loyal to Nick Cannon and she feels uncomfortable. But it also could be as well to try and soften the blow for the question. I feel you.
You said no to the tour, so
that's what I thought.
I'm like,
I wasn't gonna say
no.
anything.
She said no to it.
I
did.
did.
You did.
Oh, yeah. They asked
every time when you say no. Jesus, not no, but but I'm not going there. But that during that time came with like controversy almost at the exact same time because Nick unfortunately lost his son.
Yeah.
And it was like right at the same time almost. And it was like your happy moment, you're bringing a life into the world with a man who just lost his child. And so I think, so that's why I asked, has there been a time where it was like, I can't show up for you right now because I got to go show up over here?
You know, that was actually probably the hardest thing that we've ever went through together
as a couple.
Because obviously, with all due respect to her, like I would never speak on like their situation, you know what I mean? But for me, it was like, okay, so it's even more of a reason to hide this and keep this a secret until maybe in 2 years we come out and say whatever, you know. So like we had no intention of coming out. Everyone's like, oh, you had a gender reveal. I was supposed to hide in my house. Like, yeah, I had a gender reveal.
It's my life.
But it was in a rental property that nobody knew about on a random day at 2:00. Like it's not, I had 20 people, my closest family and friends, you know? So there was no intention whatsoever of coming out with that or even me saying it was his. We hadn't decided because it was a really tough delicate situation. And I couldn't imagine like what she was going through. And just like, as another woman, I was like, I don't want to come out and put like that was just, it was all fucked. And like we didn't.
But you felt bad. You didn't.
Of course, I feel bad. I mean, it was just innocent child. So we're talking about 6 months. Like regardless on like whatever the situation is with another, none of that is concerning to me at all. Right. So it was really hard to like make that call, and so we didn't make the call. We were like, you know what, we'll just keep it between our closest friends and family, and you know, we'll deal with it later.
I mean, that's a fair point. You know, I mean, like that's a difficult situation to go through. And a difficult kind of thing to deal with. So I totally understand what she's saying there. You know, that ain't easy to deal with, you know, irrespective of how I feel about Nick Cannon spreading a seed all around the town. You know, to lose a child is never easy. And that's something that takes time to heal from, if ever there is a full-on healing from that. But so that makes it difficult for her, then also as well at the same time to be able to then reconnect to that person. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
And then got outed. And then at that point it was like, all right, well now we have to lean into it because it's like, it is what it is. It's out. And we also don't want to make it seem like, oh, you know, this was an accident. Like it wasn't an accident. So
you guys planned this. This was like,
we talked about this for a long time. So like, I'm not about to paint this other narrative to like make anyone feel better. I hate that it's out, but I have to just still be my truth. Like this is what it is. So that was definitely that was rough. And it was just like, and I got ripped apart. So I was just like,
you did, all right. The internet is so evil. They have no idea.
I have no idea. I mean, obviously it's already so unconventional. Nobody agrees with what you're doing anyways. Right. So it's like you already got that factor, and then you bring in something like that. It's like we had no intention. We also didn't know that was going to happen.
You know, because at the time, how far along were you? You were already.
I was already. What was that? January. I was like, I also want for myself. Like, what if I don't have another kid? So now I don't have a gender reveal. I don't have a baby shower. I don't celebrate my moment and my kid because of the unfortunate. It's like it was such a struggle. It was rough.
Do you see it as, or in your relationship with Nick and y'all's dynamic? Do you guys see it as a blended family? Or do you see it as separate families?
Oh, who is this woman? First of all, you're fine. You all types of fine. And then you're asking these smart, intellectual questions. Somebody find me her at so I can just say hello to her. You know what I mean? Introduce myself as Kojo Black Muscle. Anyway, let me stop playing. All right, cool.
Are the women coming together? Do y'all communicate? Do y'all have a relationship? Because your children at the end of the day are family. Which makes y'all family. To me, I don't know if that's the same for y'all.
I mean, it is for me. I can't speak for anybody else. As of now, the women don't really have to talk, and they don't necessarily need to. A lot of the kids are so young that they can't even really know, you know. But I'm sure in time it'll be fine. I mean, I have every intention of, you know, they can all go hang out together. Like it doesn't bother me at all. You know, Nick makes jokes. I'll pick them all up in the van. I'll send 7. So it's like, you know, it is what it is. I don't see the point.
Do you want your son to know their other siblings?
Of course. Yeah. I mean, there's no reason not to. What? Because it's another woman. I mean, it's the same thing. Like if you got remarried or anything else, it's just another.
But if you're still if he's currently having relationships, is that weird for you to be in the same room watching his affection towards another
somebody
woman.
else.
Because right now everything is separate. So how would you feel in one room?
I feel like any of us in the room are going to be respectful.
Right.
And he's always respectful. So I don't.
No, that's what she thinks is going to happen. Let me tell you something about women, yeah? And men. Disrespect can creep in real quickly, you know. And entitlement, pride, and feeling like you deserve this can kick in so quickly. It only takes for him to hug one person the wrong way, look at somebody the wrong way, smile at somebody the wrong way, say something the wrong way, and one of the people is going to kick up a storm. I'm telling you, cuz, it don't be working like that for free. That's what I can tell you now. It don't be working like that for free. Trust me.
I don't necessarily see that being a situation.
We all never done that. Been in the same
accurate.
Room. Got you.
I mean, I think I've been in a room with a couple of them not knowing whatever.
I didn't know.
I kind of
room and watching him do that to another woman. It's like, wow, I thought that was like my thing.
You just tucked my bangs.
Yeah, it's like, you know what I'm saying?
You tucking bangs?
Wow, you just tucked bangs. I thought you just did that for me, but you really just be out here tucking bangs.
Yeah.
So that's just your thing. So then it's like, is it special because it's isolated, or is it special because it's me?
So everything that I hear from
someone get this girl a medal. The question she's asking her, you know what I'm saying? Just straight to the point. Bullets are being shelled. I like these questions. You know what I'm saying?
It was emotion and ego. You know what I mean? Like that. Those are the things that are coming up versus like, I would come and tuck your hair like I would your hair because I love y'all, like as a person. So it's like, it all just depends on perspective, I feel like, because that's also being a little bit jealous and that's being territorial. And it's like all those natural things that you have when you're with somebody, which I get. But we are really good about like removing that. Like if there's something I like, don't do that in front of me. He'd be like, all right. You know, and he won't. But I can't say that it's like happened yet.
Right.
Yeah, but so beautiful. I love this. She said, obviously, don't do that in front of me. But what if the other girl wants it to be done in front of you? What if the other girl wants more affection in front of the other ladies? Why can't he do that for them? You know what I mean? Like, why would your presidents take over their presidents? That's what I'm trying to say. Like, somebody's going to be offended. You know why I know this? Because even in the Bible, it happened. You see how Leah was with Rachel? Even her own sister, she was warring. You're not going to be free. You're not going to be free. You know, from this turmoil. Like, I think that it's gonna have this perfect relationship where the girls are all gonna get on. Yeah, no.
Right. Well, regardless if you act on it or not, it's just that feeling, that human nature to feel that, regardless if you act on it and be like, I don't like that, you know. But it's like, it's kind of like that.
But I think the difference with her situation is she went into the situation knowing, like when you're not,
you think about those possibilities. Like, I know that you don't just, you don't belong to me.
Right. Right. And you're going into it knowing like this is what our relationship is. You're training your mind to know all of that, all of the possibilities.
But it goes both ways.
You
also don't own me.
Right.
So at the end of the day,
so if I go and tuck some niggas bang, don't be mad.
Right. If I go brush his hair, do rag on, braid my hair. Now I'm braiding a nigga's hair with your baby in my belly.
Yeah.
Not the baby.
Do you date other people?
Maybe.
Oh, not maybe.
Maybe not now.
She said, I'm not doing it right now. But
no, not now.
So cute, maybe. Ain't talking to nobody else. Ain't talking to Nick for 10 years.
Some guy's got to accept this role, you know. Wow. I mean, to be honest, listen, I'm sure some guy would, you know, I mean, she's a pretty girl, so she can get away with the nonsense. Listen, I'm going to leave it there. If you want to watch the rest of it, you can go watch the rest of it. I know it's the last like 10 minutes or so, but if you want to watch the rest of it, go ahead. I'll put the link in the description box. But yeah, listen, to me, I just wanted to find out her mindset on things. And I think it's quite interesting to hear how she thinks on stuff and how they have a connection with Nick Cannon. But hey, listen, like it, share, subscribe, click on that bell button for notification of uploads. We appreciate you guys as well.